Welcome, race fans, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight we are on the first race of, I believe, seven. We'll get it right. 7 races here in the playoffs for the Northwest Truck Series, part of the Northwest Racing Series. Hopefully you're all ready for some great racing, as we had a excellent race Monday night. We were side by side for the finish, beaten and banging all the way to the finish line with 0 cautions. We had no cautions on Monday night. Will we repeat that here tonight? That is the question. Will we do it? We'll find out once this race gets going here at Talladega Super Speedway. Before we get into all of that, of course, we need to thank all of the sponsors that have made this race possible. Of course, ourselves here at VRN, we are glad to be on board here for the 2018 Season 2. And of course, Wool's Beard Co. Beard Balm, playing a double duty here tonight for the race and for the broadcast. They are the official one-to-go sponsor, official grid sponsor here for tonight's race. Definitely check them out here in the month of November for No Shave November. It's coming to an end, but also right around the corner is Christmas. An excellent Christmas idea. You can check out woolsbeardco.com to get some of that Wool's Beard Co. Beard Balm, all natural and organic products. Great stuff for anybody that has a beard, so make sure you check them out. Again, that is woolsbeardco.com. Northwest Racing Series, the series you're watching here tonight live on Virtual Racing Network. They are the official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's race as well. So big thanks to them for coming on board. Ohio IndyCar League. If you're looking to get into some IndyCar racing, there is no better league to go to than Ohio IndyCar League. If you're looking to get all the latest information, that can be found over on Facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. Make sure you check them out. SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for custom-made button boxes and e-brakes. With all those rallycross tracks coming out, as it is the newest feature here on iRacing.com, you definitely want to check them out. Again, that's SimSpeedShop.com. And if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays for streaming like the ones you see here, you can have those made by Jason Allison over at iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast graphic source. Does the best work in the business, so make sure you check him out. Again, that is ibog.co to get a hold of Jason Allison. That being said, we are just about ready to get into all of the racing details. Of course, I am Charles here in the booth alone tonight. Sometimes we occasionally have a second chair, but we do not tonight. We are still looking for a permanent second chair here for this late night broadcast. But again, have not found that right person to fit into the seat just yet, but we are looking. Right now, Steve Silstad has the fastest time, but I will note here, with about 16 minutes to go, we do not have the Wicked Chassis Racing Boys here yet. So Jeff, Mark, Sean, John, those guys are not here yet. But they will be here shortly. That'll put us at about 20 drivers or so once they all get in here. So still a few drivers left to join. We'll be looking to talk to some of those here in a minute as well. Once we go over the point standings here with 16 minutes left to go. Of course, tonight is a 80-lap race here at Talladega Super Speedway. 4 turns, 2.65 miles. So we have 215 miles around this track. Air temp, not too bad, 78 degrees. Your track temp here tonight, 86 degrees. So not too hot, but not really cool either. That is still a pretty warm track. However, for anyone that's not familiar with Talladega or Daytona super speedways like this, tires really not going to be that big of an issue for tonight's race, as they will come in and take them. Possibly, they may not. I know we had drivers like Jeff Stabnow, Mark Walls, Sean Brightsman, I believe even John Ottenbacher, that whole team, and probably many other drivers that did not take tires at Talladega. They ran the entire race on one set of tires. So a lot of different strategies going here. Do you take tires? Do you not take tires? Two tires, perhaps. We'll see, as there is Mark Walls making his way into the server. But again, a lot of stuff going on here. We're going to go ahead and pull your main thing up here, and we're going to put the chase ticker up at the top. Again, we'll just have this one up during practice and qualifying. Well, actually, we won't have it in qualifying, but here in practice, if you see a green bar there that says chase driver, that indicates that that driver is in the playoffs. So make sure you look to the top and see who's in the playoffs. We'll be reminding you out throughout the night as well, but that is a good way to see prior to the race starting who all is in the chase. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring up your point standings here with about 14 minutes left to go. This is where it gets really interesting for everyone out there watching how these point standings are going to break down. As currently we have Mark Walls, your points leader, only by 3 points, and that is by Jeff Stabnell, Sean Breitzman, and Brian Bennett. All three of those drivers, because they had 2 wins, they are currently tied for second place. Then you go tie for 5th place. You have Josh Coley, Chris White, Brian Barnes, and Steve Silstad, who both had I believe 1 win on the season. Some of these guys didn't actually have any wins. Actually, you're correct. I stand corrected. I remember looking at it now. Those guys didn't have any wins. So Brian Bennett, Sean Breitzman, Jeff Stabnow, and Mark Walls are the only ones with wins here in the series this season. So Josh Coley, Chris White, Brian Barnes, and Steve Sills had no wins. That's why they have an even 1,000 points. But either way, they're tied for 5th place right now. Those are the guys we're going to be watching here really closely. We'll see if Corey Walters is here. I don't see him. John Ottenbacher, however, is not here either yet. So this will be interesting to see if he does show up here. But right now, 9th and 10th not here. Josh Cushman, I do not see him either. So 9th through 11th not here. Ryan Maines, I believe, is here. He is indeed here. So he stands to gain a lot of positions. Definitely will pass Cushman if Cushman does not show up here tonight. Tom Green, we know he's here. Ray Fournier, I haven't seen him, but yes, he is indeed here. Andy Vogt, we know, is not here. Gary Nichols is here. Frank Harris, not here with us. William Fletcher, I haven't seen him tonight. We'll see if he shows up. Brett Johnson does have a win, but he missed too many races, so he is back in 19th. Plus, you have to be in the top 16 to be in the points anyway. So he is out of the chase here, even with that win. And James Thurston is, of course, no longer with us, but I believe he is in chat from time to time, so a big shout out to him if he is here. That being said, we have about 11 minutes here. We're going to step away just for a moment, but we will leave these points up here for you. And we come back, we're going to talk to some of our top drivers here, especially drivers like Mark Walls, Jeff Stabnow, Sean Breitzman, who are teammates, 1, 2, and 3 in the points, going into a track like Talladega. This could be an interesting conversation, so give us just a minute. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk to at least those 3 drivers and maybe more. All right, we just sent out the messenger to Jeff Stabnow, and we'll see when they're ready to pull down here. We'll pull them down there, and we're going to talk to those three that are tied in the, or not tied, but two of them are tied. One of them, the leader here. So we will pull them down here. So give us just one more moment. I believe we are just about ready to go. All right, we're back, and this is going to be a quick interview because they want to get some practice in, and we don't want to hold them up, but we still have those point standings up. Obviously, Mark, you had the most wins, I believe 6 wins, if my math is correct. So obviously, you're the leader here. Jeff Stabnow in second, and Sean Breitzman, you're in third. So we want to talk to all three of you. We went over this in the pre-race show, or the playoff preview show, but here it is, race day. So which one of you is going to get the win here tonight, and are you going to push the other one to the win?
Yeah, I think hopefully it's one of us. I mean, first off, that's awesome that we got 3 or 4 drivers in the chase. Better luck for John. He might have been there. But I think if we just work together, that's the thing. If I'm pushing and we got a lap to go and we're racing guys, at that point I'm kind of committed, because you could risk not any of you guys advancing into that next round, or pushing the teammate to the win so he advances and you kind of work your way on points. I mean, if you finish second, it's still a good points day. So we'll see how it goes.
And kind of a question here. I will let whoever wants to answer this. When it comes to leading this pack, if you happen to all three be up there, what is going to be the strategy? Stay single file, or are you going to try to take both lanes and guarantee at least a first and second, and possibly a third place if you can get that second lane going too?
I think that just depends on how the race goes.
Yeah, I think that's
you kind of juggle your call all the way through, depending on what happens. So you could be in a situation where you're breaking away from pit stops, pitting under green. You want to stay single file and race that way. You're a little faster. And towards the end, I mean, if you're side by side, yeah, you want to own both lanes.
Oh, definitely. We'll be watching to see how this goes. And, we have to look back to Monday night where we had a little drag race to the end, a little beating and banging going. So we got to go down for Sean for that one. So, Sean, can we expect something like that again here tonight?
Well, I would say with Mark and Jason in this tonight, there's a good chance. But it just might not be those two beating and banging to the finish. It might be, 3 Walls Beard Co. trucks going for the win.
Well, I'm not afraid to wreck Sean.
Well, there you have it. We're not afraid to wreck him. And if anybody that was here for the preview show, everybody said they were here to beat Sean for some reason. So we'll see if that does play out here tonight, as that was the consensus. They were here to beat Sean. So we know most of y'all have some of the same sponsors, but we'll quickly run through it here. We'll start with Jeff and go down, and we'll get y'all back to practice.
Just you guys in Walls Beard Co. VRN and Walls Beard Co. all year long. We've been riding with both of you. Walls Beard Co. On the trucks, on the series. VRN right there with them. VRN, all the hard work you guys put in to make this broadcast so awesome, and just getting to know the lead and hanging out with us. And Walls Beard Co. It's Christmas time, guys. That beard ball makes for some really nice and very inexpensive gifts. So www.wallsbeardco.com. Support sim racing. Support Walls Beard Co.
Yeah, I got to piggyback off Jeff. I'm going to keep it short and simple. I don't got much of a voice. Got to give a big thanks to Walls Beard Co. and VRN. Their partnership is real strong, along with the Northwest Racing Series. So glad that we get to run all those sponsors on the trucks, and big shout out to the teammates. Let's go do this.
And I got to third that. Big shout out to Walls Beard Co., Wicked Chassis Racing, Virtual Racing Network, and then everybody from the Northwest Racing Series that shows up, not just to beat me or wreck me, but everybody that shows up to make this a fun league and a lot of fun.
All right. Well, again, hopefully we'll be talking to you, all three of you here later. That would be awesome for a team to get all three of you back in here in the booth. So we are going to step away for here for just a few seconds. We'll be right back because we're going to talk to one more driver. So don't go anywhere. All right, we are back, and we have Steve Stillstad with us. So, Steve, welcome to the booth here, as you are one of the chase drivers, and currently the fastest one here in the session. So we just talked to the team up there for Wicked Chassis Racing. They've got about a four-man team, even though one of them's not in the chase. But looking down here at your team, as we wanted to talk to you, you've got a four-man team as well. So you got to believe one or two in the chase as well. So what is the strategy coming in here? Is the team going to help the chase drivers, or is this kind of a free-for-all, and hopefully anybody's trying to get the win?
We do kind of have a plan going here. We're definitely going to be trying to get the three chase drivers, one of us a win tonight, hopefully. But yeah, I think the main goal is going to be just staying clean for the first 50 or 60 laps, trying to stay out of trouble and just have a truck that's in one piece and hopefully fighting for the lead at the end.
Well, definitely, like we said with them, we hope to see everyone in the booth. We're not particular. We just like to talk to people up here, especially when we're alone in the booth. It can get kind of lonely sometimes, so we're definitely going to be talking to people throughout here. But before we get to the national anthem and we let you go here, what do you think the odds here? Monday we went caution free. You think we can do that again here tonight, or you think with the open setup it may lead to a caution or two?
You know, we got a pretty good group of drivers here. I think it's real possible that we go green the whole way. But that being said, even with a great group of drivers, it's hard to do. So I imagine there'll be one or two cautions in there. I am hoping for some green flag pit stops. Those are always pretty fun, though. So yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Keep our fingers crossed.
Well, definitely, we will keep our fingers crossed, as those are our hydration breaks when we get a caution or two, especially here at Talladega, when they take so long to get around this track. I think it's like 2.5 minutes. But we are going to step away for the national anthem. We will be right back with qualifying here coming up next, so don't go anywhere. Qualifying again coming up next, followed by your 80-lap race here at Talladega Super Speedway, where this is the Walls Beard Co. Chase Kickoff 215.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, qualifying is underway, and the green flag is officially out, but nobody is out on the track here at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of your ticker here off the top of the screen, as we don't need it here at the moment, as we're going to bring your qualifying times here onto the screen. But again, surprisingly, nobody taking to the track, and there we have some. It looks like the first one is going to be the 07 of Dana Rogers, followed by David Applegate and Mark Walls. Actually, Mark Walls is going to be the second one out, but again, they have a warm-up lap here, and then they have 2 laps to get around this track. So for anyone that's unfamiliar with Talladega Superspeedway, they are going to take their first 2 laps, their warm-up lap and their main lap. They are going to run it as high as they can on the track, and then on that third lap, or their second official time lap, or what we refer to around here as the money lap, they are going to get as low as they can to the white line without going below it. If you go below that yellow line, it can very easily upset the truck, and you don't want to do that. You want to stay as low as you can to it without going below it. As we'll put your driver bar up here. We will be waiting to see when times come in here tonight. So we'll see and check something there really quick. But there is his warm-up lap, so everyone again out on the track. We will report the times as they come in, as you're watching again the 07 of Dana Rogers, who we will get to talk to here tonight. He does have a mic in now, so awesome news here for the 07 that we will get to talk to him here for tonight's race. We'll probably pull him up for an interview, as we just haven't got to talk to him before. I don't believe he had a mic, but he does now, so awesome news there. Again, we're just waiting for the times to officially come in. You see, running a little bit lower here. This is, I believe, his first lap. We'll see what kind of time it is going to be. Somewhere probably in the 54s would be their first lap. Maybe 55 if you're just not quite got the setup dialed in. But 53s I expect to be their fast lap for some of these anyway. I don't expect any lower. And there it is, a 54.848. As we'll drop to Mark Walls with a 54.754. And Chris White just dropping in a 54.624 in that 00 SSM machine here tonight. We'll see who else goes in. Matt Henry, there is truck loading currently a 55.022. Those are the only 4 drivers that officially have put in times. There are plenty of drivers out on the track. A brand new driver here debuted on Monday, Daniel Masters, in the number 6 machine, as he's going to put in a 55.050 for his first lap. And there it is, a 55.046, the official time. Donovan Stevens in the 38, who I know has a fan outage at here tonight, currently in 7th place, as Dana Rogers takes it back to the top. And never mind, there's a 53.855 from Mark Walls, as he will regain the lead. Chris White currently in 2nd place now with a 54.256. Note here, I figured we would see a few more 53s, but as of right now, Mark Walls, the only 53-second lap out on the track. That is very surprising. Not something I expected to see here tonight. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if anybody else can potentially put in a 53-second lap. As David Applegate 54-158, and there it is right there, 53-799. Jeff Stabnow going to the top of the charts here to take pole, as Donovan Stevens also sets a better time, 54-120 on his second lap, and then Sean Brightsman drops him a spot, and Mark Walls with a 53-838. Keep in mind, these times are extremely taped up right now. They will be running a hair bit faster in the actual race when they get in the draft. But right now, these are 100% taped up. There is no air getting through. They cannot run very many laps with the tape on there like that, to barely probably make it 2 as it is. So we'll see. We currently have John Ottenbacher fixing to put in a time. Note, David Applegate is this first race back in quite some time with a top 10 8th place qualifying time, 54-158. So a very good time for someone who has been away at school, has not been on here very much, but he is back tonight. And I'm not sure why it would be buffering for you, unless it's maybe a YouTube issue. We are having a pixelation issue. That is with our internet. Maybe the two are related. So if so, we do apologize for that, as we have work orders out to work on the internet here, as John Ottenbacher runs a 55-015. We'll go over to Brian Barnes, but again, we do have an issue with the internet going on. We are addressing that and getting it fixed as quickly as possible. So, unfortunately, out of our hands on that end, but we are definitely trying to get it fixed as quickly as possible, and we are keeping tabs on it here tonight as well, just to make sure everything goes as planned, and it looks a little better, but it is definitely still not perfect. We are having issues here and there, but definitely a little bit better as far as the pixelation goes. And we'll see. Brian Barnes going to put in a time number 1 right there, and it is going to be a minute 6. So that is obviously a warm-up lap, so we'll see what the first lap is going to be. And we also have Mona Lehman out onto the track right now in the number 4 machine. Those are the only two out on the track that have not put in times. Brian Bennett, however, did just put in a 53-963 to put himself in 5th place. He is one of our chase drivers here tonight, as well as Brian Barnes, and you'll see that little bar there, chase driver, indicates they are in the chase. We are working on some new ways to keep you informed with that, as well as it looks like Josh Childress is going to hop out onto the track now. I don't believe we've seen him in a couple of races, so good to have him back here for tonight's race, as we have several drivers here. I think this is one of the biggest fields we have seen in a few races, so it's awesome to see all these drivers coming back, especially when the chase is underway, as sometimes it dwindles down here in the closing races. 24 drivers have made the trip. Notably here, Josh Coley and Steve Silstead have not come out onto the track yet. They are two chase drivers opting to start at the back of this field, which is very surprising when they have 24 drivers. I know they like to start back there and see if they can avoid the wrecks here if we have any. But remember, Monday night we went caution free in the race, so it's going to make it a little difficult here. So we'll see as Moto Lima puts in a 55-563 to put himself in 17th place. So Tom Green, Steve Silstead, Ray Fournier, Josh Coley, AJ Williamson, Gary Nichols, Josh Childress not putting in a lap here so far with 1 minute left to go on the clock. They do not have time with a warm-up lap. They would run out of time before they could officially put in a time. So we'll leave that qualifying up there for just about 45 more seconds. We're going to go ahead and go silent on the mic here real quick. We will be back in 50 seconds with your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. All right, it is time for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid. Again, 24 drivers have made the trip. We'll see who all does start the race here tonight, as we're just waiting for a couple of our drivers to get to the grid. We'll actually go ahead and get down there with them, as you can see the grid. So we're going to go through it. Your Walls Beard Co. starting grid here for tonight's race, and you see row number 1 is packed here with 2 chase drivers, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow and the 46 of Sean Breitzman. Row 2, another chase driver here, the number 48 of Mark Walls and his teammate John Ottenbacher. Row 3 is going to be another chase driver, the 71 of Brian Bennett and the 21 of Jason Berg. Row 4 is going to be the 38 of Donovan Stevens and the 6 of Daniel Masters. Row 5 is going to be the 23 of David Applegate, making his kind of debut back here after being away from school for quite some time. He is back, though. On his outside on row 5 is going to be the 73 of Dell Winneberg. Row 6 is going to be the 61 of Gerald Heffley and the 13 of Ryan Maines. Row 7 is going to be the 19 of Matt Henry, and starting in 14th on row 7 on the outside, it's going to be the 00 of Chris White, one of our chase drivers here tonight. Row 8 is going to be the 07 of Dana Rogers and another one of our chase drivers, the 25 of Brian Barnes, qualifying in 16th here tonight. In row 9, it's going to be the 4 of Mona Lehman and another chase driver who was fastest in practice. That is Steve Silstad in the 45. Saw no time for Steve, starting at the back here tonight. Row 10 is going to be the 33 of Josh Coley, another chase driver not taking a qualifying time here tonight. On his outside, it's going to be the 37 of Josh Childress. Row 11 is going to be the 8 of Gary Nichols and the 27 of AJ Williamson. And rounding out the fields here tonight in row 12, that's going to be the 26 of Ray Fournier and the 77 of Tom Green. That will do it here for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid, as we are just about ready to go racing here for the first time at Talladega Superspeedway for 80 laps is what we have on the books. 200, technically we said 250, it's actually 212 miles around this track. Probably around 215 is this thing, our system rounds it to a 2.65. It is really 2.66 miles, so 215 miles around this monster of a track. So I hope you're ready for some great racing, because it's coming up here in just a few moments. Alright, pace car will be diving off right about there. You see, doesn't dive off, makes a nice exit here as we are set to go racing here in just about, it's about 200 feet. As again, if you're not familiar, the start finish line is actually past the pit exit. So there is pit exit right there, and there is the green flag. We are racing, of course. It's going to take them a little bit to get going here. This is not about acceleration here at Talladega. It is about speed. And it looks like we already have some drivers starting to cycle to the bottom here of the track. I believe that was the 21 of Jason Berg that decided he wanted to go ahead and get to the bottom lane, leaving the 89 and the 46 to kind of fend for themselves. But they're sorting it out here. I have a feeling we're going to see some side-by-side coming up here very soon. We'll see just how this race goes. Again, the first race of the playoffs for the Xfinity Series on Monday night went caution-free. Will we do that again here? Is Mark Walls? No, it's not going to happen. Caution is out in a huge pile up here early in this race, and it involves several chase drivers. Mark Walls being involved. Let's go back and see what happened here, as he may have got the least out of everybody. what happened here to Mark Walls. Let's see if we can get a shot from the blimp camera. Not a good camera to look here. What happened here to the 48? Did he get a shot from the back bumper? Or did he just get loose? We're about to find out. As it's coming up here in just a minute. Right there, the 71 of Brian Bennett gives him a shot. He comes up, hits the 21 of Jason Berg, slides around. The 13 of Ryan Main's involved. The 8 of Gary Nichols. The 77, I do believe, is involved. The 00 of Chris White involved. A ton of drivers involved in that early caution there, as it looks like a bumper hook from the 71 to the 48 will be the cause of that caution. We'll see if they're going to come down pit road. I don't think anybody will here, as we really just got started. We didn't even complete a lap. So let's go ahead. Let's bring Mark Walls down here and see if we can't get a quick word with him here, as I don't think they'll be coming down at pit road here. We'll zoom out just a little bit to make sure, but too early in this race. So let's bring him down here and get a quick word. Mark Walls, you got a copy?
Four.
Well, hopefully we didn't get you going down pit road here, but early caution here. It looked like you got a bumper hook from the 71. Are you going to have to use that fast repair, or does it look pretty clean for the most part?
You know what? I'm not sure. I don't have any eyes in the sky to tell me damage. I'm going down pit road right now, actually. I'm going to assess damage and do what I got to do. I don't think I made contact with anybody, but it's showing I got some, so we'll see.
Yeah, from what we saw, it looked like a bumper hook from the 71, and a little damage on the back side of the truck there. Looks like you tail whipped the 21 of Jason Berg on your way back up. So the back's got a little damage there, as we got the binoculars out looking out for you. But for the most part, I think your front looks good, so hopefully you'll be able to get back to the front here and help your teammates and possibly get the win.
Yeah, as long as we don't get hooked again.
Although we will be out there watching, but we'll get you back to the channel, and hopefully, again, we'll talk to you on better circumstances here later.
Sure.
All right, again, that was the 48 of Mark Walls. He's coming off pit road. You can see there he does have some damage to the back, quite a bit of damage, actually, and that is mostly where he got when he coming back onto the track there. After being bumper hook, kind of tail whipped the 21 of Jason Berg. As we'll go find Jason Berg. He is actually still on pit road, so that really hurt him. I think he got the worst in. And it looks like our top 10 drivers did stay out. Everyone behind them came down at pit road, so we'll see how this one plays out here, as we have some guys with a little bit fresher tires. 3 versus 1, it's really not that big a deal, but it does mean they have fresh fuel as well, so it's that extra little bit of fuel that they can do. And we'll have to talk to Jeff Stabnow. I know he gave us a fuel window earlier, so why don't we pull him down here very quickly, as we'll wait to see if the lights go off before we do. I do not believe they're going to go off this time. They could, though. We don't want to distract from that, so we'll see if those lights go off before we pull them down here. And we'll actually go to the roll bar camera here for Jeff Stabnow and see if indeed those lights go off. If they don't, we'll pull him down here and talk to him about some fuel strategy, as we'll see. Nope, they do indeed go off, so we will wait till the next caution to see if we can take a quick word with him, as we go back to our main camera. We're going to zoom out here for you. We are set to go racing this next time by. All right, let us know in the chat here as we're back. Let us know who your driver is here tonight. Definitely let us know if you have a favorite driver here in tonight's race. As it looks like, take a look here, John Ottenbacher sitting on pit road. So, yeah, let us know if you have a favorite driver or if you're just here for some great racing. Definitely we want to know. And of course, if you are new here tonight, definitely hit that subscribe button. We are set a very aggressive goal to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it with your help. Definitely it is going to be possible. It is very aggressive, but we are going to try our best to reach it. What we're trying to reach for now, though, that is the green flag. Is a pace car not going off there, delaying the start here one more time as we have cars coming down. So something happened there as we see Mona Lehman going down pit road with heavy smoke. So the caution flag gets delayed here. So let's go and see what happened here. As we'll see if the lights go off this time, as that was delayed one time, so we did not go racing. Let's go on board here and see if those lights are off. They are indeed, so we're going to try one more time. Obviously, the caution got extended there from race control. So interesting, something there happening with the Mona Lehman back in the 4 machine. So again, something happening back there to cause that. Lights are off this time, so we should go racing this time by. Alright, so we again should go racing this time. We'll see if they extend it or not. I don't think they'll extend it again. You're riding on board here with the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. But again, unless those lights come back on, we are going racing this time. Something happened there with the 4. We just didn't get a chance to go back and look at it. We'll definitely try, if we get another caution, to look at that as well here on lap 5. But we are set to go racing one more time. Will we see any more cautions? Obviously, we've seen one so far. That is one more than we had last week, as we didn't, or last Monday, as we did not have any cautions in the race. So, question is, will we see a caution again? As the pace car should be diving off here any minute. And right there, it makes its descent off, so we'll get rid of the onboard camera here. Go back to our main camera, as there it is, a green flag getting ready to come out. Again, it's a long ways to the green flag here, as it is well past the start-finish line, or the pit road exit, sorry, to the start-finish line. Here it is, the green flag is out. We are racing once again. Again, we told you it would be a good race, and it will be. Early cautions here tonight, as we'll bring that up real fast. 1 caution for 3 laps, 0 lead changes, as Jeff Stabnow has led every lap so far. He has led 5 laps. We're on lap number 6 right now. John Ottenbacher, though, has set the fastest lap on lap 3. So, and again, just because you're at the front of this field doesn't necessarily mean you are the fastest driver. Cars 2-3 rows back can sometimes get that fastest lap because they get more drafts. So, again, being out front does not mean you're the fastest, as a caution comes out. And, oh, it's a nice little pile up back here. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened. Oh, a caution coming out very quickly here, as we'll see what happened at the back of this field. We know Ray Fournier was involved in it, but not sure exactly what happened. Mark Walls looks like he may have been back here as well. Was he involved in the caution? As we'll see right in here is probably about where it happened. And looks like possibly just got loose. Let's see if we can get another quick angle at that very quickly here. As let's go to the blimp camera. Alright, let's go to the chopper camera and see what we can find here. What happened to the 26? As, net code between the 48 and the 26, spins the 46 around. There was clearly no contact there. That was pure net code there between the 46, or the 48 and the 26 as we go back up to live. And we'll wait and see, is the 24 Jeff Stabnow going to come down at pit road and take any fuel and tires? Something tells me probably not, as it looks like everyone will probably be staying out. So again, a caution coming out here very quickly. Jeff Stabnow staying out, so let's pull him to the booth real quick as we'll go back on board with him here to go on board with Jeff Stabnow in the 24 machine. Let's take a quick word with him. Jeff Stabnow, you got a copy?
I got you, Charles.
Well, we wanted to pull you in here earlier, and then the lights went off, and then it got delayed, and I think it had something to do with the 4, but we didn't get a chance to look at that. But the lights are back on again here for the second caution on lap 8. But we wanted to bring you down here, even though you weren't involved in any caution. I believe you had mentioned fuel mileage earlier, but I can't remember where we put that notepad that had it all on there. So, without these cautions, if it went green from here to the end, how many laps about can you make it on fuel?
Well, we think we got about 40 green flag laps, maybe 41. It's an 80-lap race, so obviously we didn't get to test it in draft speeds, which are a little faster. So we knew we were going to be real close to one pit stop. So I think with these cautions, we definitely are going to hit the halfway point. So yeah, I think lap 41 or lap 42, I'd feel pretty safe pitting.
Well, definitely a contrast from Monday night. We didn't have any cautions. Here tonight we're having cautions fairly early and involving several of our chase drivers here. So, we want to talk about that real quick here with you. Yes, unfortunately, one of them was your teammate that's back, but as a competitor and seeing a caution that involves some of your chase competitors, you never wish a bad night on your drivers, but does it kind of give you a little bit of, a breathing room knowing that, okay, they've got some damage, they're further back, even though it is Talladega and they could get back, but that little bit of a breathing room knowing they're further back right now?
There's no breathing room in this race at Talladega. It's just so easy to get caught up in a mess. Until that checkered flag waves, there's no breathing room. Just because somebody's caught up in a wreck right now doesn't mean that, I'm not out of the race by lap 40. So, no, not even really considering that or thinking about that. Not sure what's going on back there or why we're having troubles getting going. Other than Mark, I wasn't aware that any chase drivers got caught up in that.
Yeah, we also had, I believe, I know at least the 00 Chris White was involved in that first one, and I believe somebody else was. I thought Josh Coley was, but I may be mistaken on that. Mark involved actually in that last one, too, was a little net code between him and the 26. But you're out front right now. You've led every lap, so we'll let you quickly give those shout-outs. For the record, I did not pick you, so you're not jinxed tonight. But any quick shout-outs you want to give before we let you go here?
Yeah, one correction and some shout-outs. First of all, I'm pretty sure that the pace car has actually led every lap. I think that's got every lap led so far. But other than that, just same with the pre-race interview, man. VRN, Walls Beard Co. Shout out to the teammates, all the guys here in the Northwest Racing Series that make this so special, and probably the families of all the people out there that watch. I know we got quite a few family members out there watching this race, so shout out to Mama Stab now there. I know she's out there, and plenty of other family members out there. So I think that'll do it.
All right, and we will run with what you have real quick before we get you up there. You would be correct. You've technically led 3 laps, or two laps, as the pace car has led 6. So you would be correct on that statement.
Well, Well, hopefully we can flip that around here. We'll see. It's going to be a long night if we can't. We got 80 of these laps in at 2.5 minutes a lap. We're going to pay you overtime.
Hey, well, we've said over and over again, just pay us in wings. We're good to go. So we'll get you back up there, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in Victory Lane tonight.
All right, sounds good, Charles. Have a good one.
You too. All right, that again was the 24 of Jeff Stabnow, who is currently leading this race. If you don't count the pace car that is out on the track, that has actually, in Jeff's word, led more laps here tonight than anybody. We'll see. Hopefully that trend does not stick, as obviously these guys would like to lead as many laps as they can and put it in victory lane, preferably not under caution. We're going to step away here for a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we agree there. It is going to be an interesting race. If they continue under caution, this will be, at this rate anyway, would be one of the most caution-filled races that we've seen. However, I don't expect that trend to continue. Once these guys get going here, into a groove, I expect to see a good race, as again Monday night was caution free. I think we could have produced that here again tonight. However, we are not going to be able to do that now, but I think we can still go a very few cautions here for this race, as we're on a lap 11 of 80. When they get to the line, the green flag is back in the air. We'll go ahead and put your top three back on the top here, as everybody's starting to single file. I kind of expected to see that, to be honest, with the cautions we've had. These guys want to get some green flag laps in. As you heard, 40 to maybe 41 laps on fuel, but they were not running in a draft. Running in that draft, you would think, would save fuel, but for some it will, some it won't. If you're out front, it's not gonna save you as much, but it really doesn't matter if you're out front or back about saving fuel anyway. The sheer fact that you're going to be going faster is going to consume more fuel, so we may be looking at 38 to 39 laps on fuel. We'll see, but on lap 6 was the fastest lap, and that was set by Jeff Stabnow with a 58.079 here in the race, and that has already been beat As there it is, lap 11 by Josh Childress, who is currently back in 6th place. So the fastest driver, as we talked about, is not necessarily at the front of this field. He's back in 6th place right now, and he has the fastest lap. And if I was a betting man, I would bet that time is going to change when we get to the line one more time. So we will be waiting to see if it does change. We have 2 cars on the outside, Brian Bennett and Josh Childress, who again just set that fastest lap. So we'll see if it changes when they get to the line. Will we have a new fastest lap? If we do, I have a feeling it's going to be somewhere like Matt Henry around 3rd place, or David Applegate in 3rd would be my guess, as they would be getting some draft, and we'll see. It does. It updates to the number 13 of Ryan Maines. I did not expect to see that, though. Back in 13th place was the fastest lap, but now that we get back here and look, you see they have a much longer line of cars, so they have a little bit better draft. So Ryan Maines, your current fastest time here on lap 13, the number 13, actually ran it on lap 12 though, with a 50.637. Obviously that again a little bit faster. We were running 53 seconds to 54 seconds in qualifying. So they are running quite a bit faster here, and we'll see if we get another fastest lap, as it's right now Jeff Stabnell, Sean Brightsman, and David Applegate's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And very interesting, because there it is going to update. Ryan Maines actually ran a faster lap on lap 13, but the same driver, David Applegate. We want to talk about him for just a minute as well. Let's zoom in on him. What a run for this young man here tonight. Again, has been away at school, hasn't been able to race as much, but he is back now. He is done with the night school that he was doing. So here he is driving in that number 23 Intel machine. Just like Intel, very fast. He is being very fast here tonight, putting it in 3rd place as of right now. That group there of those 4 has really kind of pulled away from the rest of this field. Surprising enough, I did not think it would happen. As we'll go back here and look, there's that other group. That's why they're not being able to catch up right now. As we'll actually go a little further back, you have Brian Bennett, Donovan Stevens, Ray Fournier, Dana Rogers, Josh Childress, Daniel Masters, Gerald Heffley, Tom Green. All of these guys that are sitting here in this group, they're not really working together as much as they need to be. We're early in this race. We're only on lap 15 of 80. They need to single file and work with each other. Instead, they're going 2 and 3 wide right now, trying to race like it's the last lap, and that is why those front 4 are pulling away. So obviously, if this came down to pit stops, and it was how it is now, that front group is going to pit together. This group's going to pit together. Granted, if all this group right here from the 38 all the way to 13 pitted together, they would have a stronger group if they work together. That is the key here. Teammates or just friends out on the track, until it gets to those last, say, 5 laps to go, it's not about it's about the team or the friendship. You've got to work with people, or you will do exactly what's happening here and fall behind this main group. But it looks like they're starting to work together here just a little bit. Maybe they will get it together here and get to the front of this field. But again, they've got to do something. It looks like they are starting to form together. Obviously, I think it would be much more beneficial to them if they stayed single file, like this front group is. We'll go back to them here. They are single file, staying bumper to bumper as low as they can to the white line, or the yellow line in this case, and they're doing it. But Sean Brightsman gets shuffled out a little bit, as maybe he may have been getting too hot there. So we'll have to wait and see if he tucks back in, but he very well could have been getting hot. Something to look for is we didn't mention that earlier. You can, if you got too much tape on there, you can very well get the engine a little warm here, as now Jeff Stabnell being kind of hung out to dry, and it looks like there goes the 46. So now we have teammates working together. The 24 Jeff Stabnell and the 46 of Sean Brightsman. And you have David Applegate and Matt Henry working together 2 by 2. And we'll see here as take a look. Those two are not teammates, so any work you see being done between those two is strictly just to try to battle here. As we're keeping an eye on that, but it's going to be interesting if they can get up there. 2x2 obviously is not ideal, but they single file it back out. That's what they need to do. But you notice there, as we're going to go back here to 5th place of Brian Bennett, the few, just half a lap they battled side by side allowed this group behind them to catch up. It looks like Mark Walls has got some help now back there in that 48 machine. I believe it's the 13 of Ryan Maines that's pushing him. It is indeed, as well as the 77 of Tom Green. But that's somewhat put it together there. Not the best line, but it's enough as they will catch the main group once again. I really think had that first group not got side by side, too wide, too deep, they probably would have kept pulling away, but they decided they wanted to race a little bit, and that allowed this back group to catch them. And now we have an even bigger group as we have a whole pack of cars coming to the outside. So now we have one main group, too wide here. It's going to be Brian Bennett on the outside of that first or second row. He is going to try to get up there, but he needs a few more trucks to get up there with him. Maybe if the 6 came up with him, as well as the 07 went up there as well, they might be able to make something happen. Is just right now not going to happen, as we do have Josh Childress coming down at pit road. He's been there for 22 seconds now. So very interesting that he is sitting on pit road. Not sure what happened to him, but he indeed is sitting on pit road. Here comes the 71 making a charge to the front. But again, just not quite enough to get up there and make something happen. He needs a few more cars up there with him if he wants to make it happen here and get to the front. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Can that outside lane make a run here and make something happen? As of right now, I don't think so, but they are starting to form together here. So let's zoom out just a little bit. As you can see now, they're really starting to group together, but coming in to turn 1, the 24 and his row have a little bit more of an advantage. So obviously anyone that knows this track knows that inside lane has a little bit more advantage. You have to have quite a few trucks or cars on the outside row to overpower the inside row. Right now they have less, as there goes Ryan Maines. He's going to tuck into the inside row to try to gain a few positions, and now Ray Fournier having to duck out there possibly to get some clean air. Maybe he was getting a little hot. So now there's 5 if you count way back there. So basically 4 versus about 8, 9. That is not enough here, as it looks like they are going to get there. Mark Walls scooting up to the outside row. So Mark Walls would kind of like to get up there and have his team lead the front of this field, both rows, as that is a good way to, of course, dominate the race. And looks like we got Team Stab now out there. Welcome to chat there, JT. Or welcome back to chat anyway, as I'm pretty sure we've seen you here before. And let's take a look here. You do have some stragglers falling behind. That's what we kind of want to talk about. This is being led by Josh Coley, AJ Williamson, Gary Nichols, and I believe John Ottenbacher's back here as well. He is. So 4 drivers back there. Just ahead of them is Steve Stillstad and Brian Barnes that are up there. And it looks like Mark Walls is coming down at pit road. And he looks to be going well fast to get down to pit road, as Gerald Heffley also on pit road. Ray Fournier on pit road as a caution. He is out, so let's go back and take a look and see exactly what happened here. What happened here with Mark Walls being involved in the caution is we had a lot of guys really fast coming down pit road. I'm pretty sure they weren't trying to come down pit road, as this started with Ray Fournier, it looks like. So let's go up to him and then we'll go look at this. So let's go back one more time, as again we'll go to Ray Fournier here and see what happened. as carnage ensued here on the racetrack. What happened here on lap 23 to involve the 26 here? We'll see maybe a little bumper hook from the 38 possibly. We'll see if that was the case indeed. I'm not sure if it was, or if the 26 even was the initial cause of it. No, indeed he wasn't. The 19 of Matt Henry actually got into him, and that is what caused it. Ray Fournier, a victim there, as he gets hammered into the outside wall extremely hard, and he has heavy damage. And then, of course, after that, it was on Sean Brightsman, your new race leader. He has now led one lap as he was just ahead of Jeff Stabnow. We'll see. We're going to follow Jeff Stabnow and Sean Brightsman here and see how they come out of pit road. Will Jeff Stabnow take full advantage of pit road spot number 1 and regain the lead as he is going to slide into his pit stall? Has to back up, but so does his teammate, the 46. Both of them are going to have an extended time here just by a few seconds. And we'll see. Again, it's Jeff Stabnow going to get out of pit road, and Sean Brightsman still sitting on pit road. Not sure what is happening to Sean Brightsman here. 25-second stop, 26-second stop. He may be caught speeding on pit road. 32 seconds, 33 seconds. He's still sitting there. Oh, I'm not sure what is going on with the 46 of Sean Brightsman. But we'll go back up to the lead as Brian Barnes did not stop. Well, let's see if we can get a word in with the 46 and see exactly what happened to him. Sean Brightsman, you got a copy? Sean Brightsman, you got a copy?
Got a copy?
All right, we're going to talk to you, showing you there that you led a lap and then came down pit road, and you've been there and now back on the track, but you were there for a minute 11. I didn't see any damage to that track, so what happened to you be on pit road there so long?
We were just talking pit strategy with the crew chief and race strategy, and just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Well, definitely, we couldn't see him, but it looked like the whole crew was probably out there doing some tweaks. So obviously it's his open set, so you can change it up a little bit. So with those tweaks, do you think you're a little bit more happy with the truck here and going to try to fight your way back to the front?
Yeah, definitely. I think the changes are going to be hopefully monumental. Definitely imperative for us to get our truck back into contention and hopefully make it into victory lane.
Well, again, we'll be looking for you there. We're going to let you get back up there so you can talk to your team, and hopefully, again, we'll be talking to you later on tonight.
All right. Thanks, Charles.
All right, so there you have it on the pit road, taking care of some stuff, as it looks like Brian Barnes is going to come down now, so he may have just missed pit road. Not sure what happened there, but he is going to come down pit road. Jeff Stabnow back to the lead as he has led at 22 laps here tonight. The lights are still on, so we're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I spent my whole life chained to the wall. Hunger for more, not afraid to fall. Had to cut a man down to get where I am. But someone had to tumble and someone had to stand. Don't try to fight, there's nothing you can do. I'm gonna run all over you. It's too late to try, there's nothing you can do. I'm gonna run all over you. I'm looking for new blood, and nothing's gonna stop me now.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as your top three at the moment are Jeff Stabnow, Brian Bennett, and David Applegate. If you go to the top five, Matt Henry and Chris White in there as well. And you, of course, have three chase drivers in the top five right now. So it's getting very interesting to see who is going to put it in victory lane. Will it be one of our chase drivers? Will they lock themselves into the round two of the playoffs? Or will it be a non-chase driver that puts it in victory lane here tonight and put the pressure on these drivers here in the chase? We'll find out here shortly as the green flag is just about ready to go. Of course, you're watching the Walls Beardco Chase Kickoff 2:15 here at Talladega Super Speedway. And you'll see the end of pit road coming up right there at the sign. A green flag is back in the air. And we'll put the top three back up on your top bar there so you can see we're on lap 27 of 80. We are closing in closer and closer to the halfway point. And once we get to about lap 42, 43, we know they can make it on fuel if they come in if we get a caution. So we'll be looking for that. Well, definitely, James, Josh, we'd love to have you both back here racing with us. So definitely two great drivers here. As Jeff Stabnow leading this race, though, he's got Chris White behind him. And it looks like we have a couple of drivers coming down pit road. Gerald Heffley coming out of pit road. Ryan Maines going down pit road, but back to the front of this field. As it is Jeff Stabnow. He's led 25 laps so far. Sean Brightsman's led 1. Brian Barnes has led 1. So we've had, of course, 3 different lead changes and 3 different leaders, as nobody really has been able to touch Jeff Stabnow. And, of course, then again, nobody's really trying to yet either. This is early in the race. There's no point on really pressing any issues too terribly much. Just kind of sit back and relax. That's what we're doing. We're just watching them go around right now. But once we get to the 10 to go mark, you will see them start to make things happen, as that is the points where you kind of have no return. You want to get up there, and definitely thanks Josh Cushman for the comment. But, of course, 5 to go means, of course, if a caution was to come out, we would not go racing again. Also, that is the point of no return. We say that 5 laps to go is kind of a marker here for any driver, for the main reason that once you get to there, you have to very well set yourself up for this type of racing. You have to be able to get by the car in front of you to get the lead, but at the same time, you can't leave them enough time to try and get back by you. So there is so much going on that they have to do. And it's not flat-footing out you here. You will see them let off the brake or the trail brake if you're the leader. You can. You don't have to. But the people behind him will ride that brake a little bit. So you'd be surprised they're not going full throttle here at any given time in this race. They will indeed ride the brake just a little bit, or even flat out let off the gas. 9 out of 10 times, though, they're just going to kind of ride that brake. I don't expect to see them actually hit the brake or let off the gas. They're more likely to ride it, as it looks like Brian Bennett is going to go back a few spots here, as he's going to drop to 8th place. Gary Nichols is going to get by him on the inside here, as well as Matt Henry, David Applegate, Mark Walls, and now John Ottenbacher in the 88. He's out front. Will he lead this lap to lead his first lap here tonight? And indeed he will, by a car length, as you have a new race leader. That is the 89 of John Ottenbacher, with a fantastic run to get himself into the lead. And I might add a new paint job here as well. Let's zoom in and look at that. A new Walls Beardco VRN paint job here for the 89. So a very nice looking paint job here for him, as you have there 1, 2, and 3 Wicked Chassis Racing drivers. You got the 89 of John Ottenbacher, the 48 of Mark Walls, and the 24 of Jeff Stabnow, but don't count any of these guys behind them. You got the 00 Chris White, David Applegate, Brian Bennett, Matt Henry. These guys back there making the charge to the front, don't count them out because they are far from out of this race right now. They are working their way to that front. Definitely is going to be a battle. And if for anyone that missed the battle on Monday night, after this race is over tomorrow, go back and watch Monday's race. It was caution-free, and it was a battle. You actually had, we won't spoil it if you didn't watch it, 2 drivers door-to-door beating and banging all the way to the finish line with a finish of, I think, .014 was the difference between them at the line. So after this race or tomorrow, go back and watch that race if you haven't yet here on the channel. David Applegate thought about maybe making it 3 wide and may just wanted to get some fresh air. He is pushing the 71 of Brian Bennett, one of our chase drivers here. Right now, he is pushing him as far as he can, but it's obviously you got 3 teammates. You mix Chris White in there on that outside row. It's going to be very hard to push that 71 very far here tonight. We'll see, but just to update you on our chase drivers here tonight, we'll go through them here. John Ottenbacher leading this race, but not one of the chase drivers. However, there's one of them. Mark Walls currently sitting in 2nd place. 3rd place, Brian Bennett, another chase driver. Jeff Down now sitting in 3rd place. 4th place. He is a chase driver now as Brian Bennett gets by him. We go back. Chris White sitting in 6th place. He is a chase driver. You go back a little bit, Brian Barnes sitting in 9th place, a chase driver here in tonight's race. Josh Coley, 12th place, another one of our chase drivers. Steve Silstad sitting in 13th, one of our chase drivers. Sean Brightsman all the way back in 15th as one of our chase drivers here tonight. So a lot of our drivers mixed in throughout this entire field all the way back to 15th. As we go back up to the front here, zoom out just a little bit so you can see a little bit more of these cars. And that front group has kind of thinned out from where it was earlier today. So you go back here a little ways and you'll see this group led by the 25 of Brian Barnes and then the 38 of Donovan Stevens. You also have few drivers in there at the moment. There's Gary Nichols, and it looks like the 13. There he is of Ryan Mays. He's in there, but he is actually a lap down here at the moment. So is Gerald Heffley, Daniel Masters, and Ray Fournier, Josh Childress, Mona Lehman, Jason Berg, and of course Dale Winberg are out of this race after early cautions. Get them collected together. Back to this front group, though, as they have a nice little run going on here in the front of this pack. It is John Ottenbacher that is out front, and we are now, when they get to the line, 5 laps away from the halfway point. We'll see. We want to take this moment here while you're watching this front group here to just remind everyone, of course, thanks for tuning in here tonight. We appreciate everybody. If you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button and the little bell to be notified of upcoming events. We have a strong goal here to get to 4,000 subscribers by December 31st at midnight. And I think we can meet it. We've gained at least about 50 to 100 here in the last couple of days. I think we can do it. Also, if you like the race, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And as you see just popping up in chat, if you want to be a little bit more part of the channel, help us keep going here at Virtual Racing Network and do what we do, there is a donation link in there. You do not have to feel obligated to do it at all. But every little penny helps us do what we do here. As Jeff Stabnow makes a bold move to go to the bottom. And that will put them once again 1, 2, 3 for teammates. This time Mark Wall's out front, and he has led his first lap that time by. David Applegate's going to dive down as well. He's going to leave the 71 of Brian Bennett out to dry here, as it's right now Brian Bennett and Dana Rogers on the outside road. Two trucks here will not be enough to make anything happen. They will filter back to the back of this field. I say that the 71's making a charge though, but I don't think it's going to stick. We'll see. Now we got the 00 of Chris White going up there as well. We'll have to wait and see. Typically 3 cars is not enough to make anything happen. When you have 5 on the bottom, you need more on the top to make that happen. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that and kind of see how it all does play out in the end. I think it's not going to work out, but then again, I have been wrong before. So we'll definitely be watching to see if they can make something happen. Chris White, though, almost going 3 wide, but again, I think just getting some clean air there. If maybe that 23 gets up there, this could get interesting. To say the least, as again, that would be David Applegate in the 23. Had a brain lapse there for a minute, but if Applegate could get up there, we'd have a 4v4. That could get interesting, and we'll see. Maybe if the 19 of Matt Henry would go up there as well. Then we really could have a battle, but there's lap cars coming into the picture here. Let's go on board here very quickly with, say, John Onbacher. Let's go on his roll bar camera here and let you see what these drivers see from their perspective. This is exactly what John Onbacher would be seeing if he was sitting over on his roll bar, but let's go to his helmet cam here. This is the view from his helmet. This is exactly what John Ottenbacher is seeing right now. He sees the 71 out to his right, and he's got his 2 teammates in front of him. So he's sandwiched in right now, but trying to make something happen. As there's, you see the lap car, the 61 of Gerald Heffley, and they're going to get by him fairly easy. Look how dirty this windshield is getting. It's not really hindering his visibility too much. But it is definitely getting dirty sitting here behind Jeff Stabnow, as Stabnow currently has the most laps led of 27, but Ottenbacher himself has led 6, Walls 4, Brightsman 1, and Barnes 1. As again, we're going here to the line. Right here is where it's very dangerous, and we've talked to drivers over and over again about this. You can't see anything in front of you because of how big that back bumper is right there. You can't see. You have to follow that line. So it's a very hard to do sometimes to sit there and just follow along that line. It makes it very difficult, especially if you're someone on the outside row. You don't have that yellow line to judge off of. So again, it's so much easier running that inside line. And it's a dominant line. It's a little bit faster too. So all of that plays into people wanting to be down there. Meanwhile, we got about 19 laps on this stint, so we're not real close to pit stops here. We got somebody going, and that is John Ottenbacher in the 89. And he is going to filter his way back onto the track, or get his way back onto the track here, but that is going to slow him down. Hopefully he won't lose the draft here, as he very well could, and that is one less teammate for the 48 and the 24 to work with, as I'm not sure what happened. Maybe a little bumper hook from the 23 of David Applegate. Again, that is not confirmed. We do not know for sure. All we do know is that he is out of line, and he is trying to hang on to this draft as best he can right now, but so far it is just not working for him. He is definitely losing it, but he's going to try to catch it. A caution would be ideal for him, as we are past the halfway point now. So since we are at the halfway point, or actually a little past the halfway point, we're not seeing any cautions coming out anytime soon, or pit stops definitely not coming up soon. We are going to take a mid-race break. We will be right back after this commercial break. If a caution does come out, we will come right back.
Hi, I am Thermaltake. Say command.
What is the weather like in LA?
The weather is clear in LA.
What is the weather like in New York?
The weather is rain in New York.
Use flow mode.
Low.
Say hello, TT.
Hello, TT. Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here on lap 45. For anyone that's just tuning in, here tonight you are watching the Walls Beard Co. Chase Kickoff 215 here at Talladega Super Speedway. We have not seen too many cautions here. 3 cautions for 9 laps, 5 different lead changes. Currently, the fastest lap was on lap 15 by Mark Walls. We haven't checked in on that in a while. But he does have the fastest lap here, but it was well back 30 laps ago when it was set. We have not set a faster one since then. We'll see. I don't think we're going to see one at this point. This track's rubbering up too much to potentially see a faster lap. But then again, we've been wrong before, so we'll definitely be waiting to see if that does happen here. But Mark Walls out front leading this race. He has now led 10 laps. He could still lead the most laps. Keep in mind, we're coming up on lap 50. There you go, 60, 70, 80, 30 laps left to go. When they get to lap 50, laps are starting to tick away very quickly here in the race. Definitely, while they seem like they are long laps, they are not. Brian Bennett, though, out to the front, and he will indeed lead the lap, as that will make us have our 6th different lead change here tonight. Brian Bennett leads a lap here in the race at Talladega Super Speedway for the kickoff of the chase. Again, we've had 3 drivers, Barnes, Brightsman, and Bennett, that have led 1 lap. Ottenbacher, 6. Walls, 10. Stabnow, 27. We have leaders leading laps all over the place right now. Several different leaders were multiple laps and even single laps. All of this is stuff we are keeping a very close eye on here tonight, as well as keeping an eye excuse me, on our pixelation here. We're trying to get that sorted out. It looks like it is getting a little bit better, so that is definitely good news, but it's still not where we want it. It is still far from where we want it, but it is better at times. We're staying with this main group here, although there is more groups back here. Without having a little coughing fit, look at this group back here. This is led by Josh Coley, I do believe. So Coley, I thought we had a little pass there, but Josh Coley, Steve Silstad, AJ Williamson, Brian Barnes, even Donovan Stevens. So, excuse me, a nice little group here battling. This is back here for about 9th through about 13th. Sean Brightsman sitting back here as well in another little group. Sorry about that. Brian Barnes coming down a pit road. And that number 25 machine, no damage there. Very interesting that he is coming down pit road, as I don't see any damage. So I'm not sure what this may be for, but he is there for 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 7.9 seconds, and he comes barreling out of pit road. It looks like a fuel-only stop here on about 25 or so laps on this stint, so very interesting there. Maybe they're going to try to cut this in two, as they can't make it, so that could have been a attempt at a short pit, as we know for a fact they cannot make it on fuel to the remainder of this race. They can make it about 40 laps.
as we have over 30 to go and we have 26 on this stint. So doing the math there, yeah, that'd be about, well, right about 30 laps. So we know now for sure that Brian Barnes in the 25 is good to go on fuel to the remainder of this race. Well, that is good. It looks good on the big screen. Let us know if you're seeing any pixelation here and there. It won't be too terribly bad, but it'll be kind of bad here at certain times. Definitely let us know if you are seeing that as the caution that comes out, and it's going to be Sean Brightsman involved. Let's go back and take a look. What happened here to Sean Brightsman as the caution is out once again? And we'll see ups and downs here for Sean Brightsman so far. And I'm not sure, did he have a hook? Yes, he did. A hook from the 13 of Ryan Maines. He goes around, hits the outside wall. Not too hard, but enough to get some damage for sure, as he will try to get it to pit road. But there go the leaders right there, as he will go a lap down. So Sean Brightsman, one of our chase drivers here tonight, started second. He's been as low as the 17th and as high as, of course, second. And currently sitting in fourth lap, 14th place. Wow, one lap down. Not the night here that Sean Brightsman wanted. This track is a wild card here for the chase drivers, as you just never know what is going to happen when you come to Talladega or Daytona. And tonight, not the night for him. But Mark Wall's having a fantastic run. So is David Applegate, sitting in second place right now. So a caution is out once again. We know everyone's going to come down at pit road and take fuel and tires. It's right now Mark Wall's, David Applegate, as we'll go back to life here. There we go, people coming down at pit road. Mark Walls comes in first. Will he leave first is the question. Let's zoom out. Jeff Stabnow is currently going to be one spot ahead of him on pit road. And we'll see. Mark Walls slides it to a stop. Jeff Stabnow slides it to a perfect stop as well. Will Jeff Stabnow beat them all off pit road, as Brian Barnes did not come down pit road. He was just there. And a little funkiness going on there with the 48 as he peels out and as he turns sideways. But he will make it off pit road first, so it's going to be Brian Barnes, Brian Bennett, Mark Walls, Jeff Stabnow. So your front four are all chase drivers here tonight. So let's go ahead very quickly here. We'll get rid of that and get rid of that as well. Let's pull up your official running order here tonight, and let you see right there. You see 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are your chase drivers here in tonight's race. Of course, there's 4 more in here, but those are 4 running 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now. All right, and we'll see. Brian Barnes has officially led 2 laps now, so he did get credit, and we're going to pull him up if we have him. And I don't believe we have Brian Barnes to talk to, as I do not see him here at the moment. So let's go ahead and pull Brian Bennett up here. First off, let's make sure we're not about to go racing here, as I can't see the pace car from this angle here. And not sure. I don't think we are, but we're trying to get a look at the pace car, and we're not. Lights are on. So let's pull Brian Bennett up real fast. Brian Bennett, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we got you here sitting in second place right now. Obviously, we're under caution. So first off, we'll go ahead and pull that driver bar. You're obviously in the chase. Your highest has been first. You led 1 lap. So how has this track been treating you here tonight? And what do you think those odds are of putting this thing in victory lane later tonight?
Well, if we get the teammates up here or somebody, in behind me that it's all good to go, we'll shove it right to the front. that's it.
Well, definitely teammates are going to be a key here. You need as many of them as you can get, many friends out there. This is one of those tracks, not any one particular driver in instance that we can think of, but where you could easily get paid back for, getting somebody, bumping them or whatever in an earlier race. This is where they can get you back and not work with you. Hopefully that's not the case. I don't think you've rubbed anyone like that.
About the closest thing of coming to that would have been tonight. That first caution, I was right behind Mark Walls, and I didn't feel any contact and nothing registered, but he thought I rubbed him, so it might have been a little bit of net code that got him. But we're doing good as long as I had Ray Fournier pushing me front person earlier, and it's just as long as I have anybody behind me, it'll work out.
We'll definitely be looking for you up here, but we want to give you, of course, a quick minute here to give any shout-outs to any sponsors and anyone out there watching and cheering you on, so you can kind of shout those out. So who would they be?
Well, once again, White Knuckle Racing, they got a bang-up set here. I'm the road man, and I'm doing what I can here. I can do the super speedways fairly well, but at any rate, we're just running here.
Well, we again definitely, with any luck, we'll see you here later tonight in victory lane, or at least a podium finish, and get the win. You move on to the next round. So obviously that'll take some pressure off of you. But again, it's just hopefully we'll talk to you later tonight.
Copy that. Yeah, staying on the podium is certainly the goal. Thanks to Mark Walls and everybody for putting this event on.
All right, everybody. Again, that was the 71 of Brian Bennett. He is one of our chase drivers here. As you can see, he is currently sitting in second place. Your top four right now are chase drivers. This is getting more and more interesting as we go along here tonight. Again, top four drivers, chase drivers in tonight's race. We want to thank everybody that is hanging in there with us. We know it is a late night race here. It is even later for some of us. I don't know about y'all, but it is about 12:15 a.m. here. We'll probably get done roughly around 1 a.m. or so. But we definitely enjoy and we absolutely love hanging out with these drivers in this league. One of our staple leagues for sure, if not the staple league of VRN. Probably is the staple league. So we pride ourselves on doing this league and doing a good job with it. But we're going to go ahead and get rid of the running order here for tonight. And we will get your top bar back up when we go racing this next time by. All right, we are just about, I'd say, I don't know, too many feet for me to count to the finish line. They are in turn 3. We'll be coming around turn 4. For anyone just tuning in here tonight, you're watching the Walls Beard Co. Chase Kickoff 215 here at Talladega Super Speedway. This is Chase race number 1 here in the playoffs for the Northwest Truck Series. Don't want to miss any of the racing action. You need to hit that thumbs up and, of course, the subscribe button and little bell to be notified of all upcoming events here on Virtual Racing Network every Wednesday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern or Central, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. We will be right here until the season is over. And then even in the off season, we will be back to cover all the racing action here for their off-season races, if they have any. That being said, it is time to get the green flag right there. Green flag is back out, and we are racing. It is Brian Barnes, Brian Bennett. Well, we can't talk tonight. And Mark Walls are your top 3 right now. Jeff Stabnow sitting back in 5th place, so he's got his work cut out for him now if he wants to get back to the front. And we can definitely, well, I say we can crank it up. We don't have a crank it up cam here tonight. As for some reason this one doesn't, but here we'll zoom into TV1 here and crank it up for you just a little bit. Alright, we are back. Let's go ahead and put the Session Stadium top 3 back on there and zoom out here. As you can see, they're making it 3 wide already. Again, it's David Applegate stuck in the middle. I'm not sure he wanted to go 3 wide, but he is 3 wide regardless. As here you have it, they are right up on the wall. And it looks like if we look on that outside row, we have Bennett up there, Josh Coley up there, Steve Silstad, Sean Breitzman. Breitzman is going to duck down, and that actually wasn't Breitzman. He's in the middle. I'm not sure who this is back here. Let's go back a little ways. I believe that is the 27 of A.J. Williamson that was up there, but he's going to tuck in. Now we're 3 wide. It is still Bennett that is on that outside, so let's go back to the front. That third row is really fizzled out. It just kind of isn't working. And yes, it looked like Brian Barnes during the crank it up did get on to the apron. He was able to save it, but he did lose a few spots. But you are correct. We saw that there in the corner of the screen. He was on the apron, but lucky for him, he did a really good job of saving it here tonight. We'll see if he can do it and put it in victory lane after a save. Would be an awesome job for him if he could, as he is doing a fantastic job right now, sitting in 4th place. Again, we are keeping an eye on a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of action going on here tonight, as we have so many chase drivers bidding, trying to get that win. Mark Walls obviously out doing the job here, but David Applegate to the front. He has not led a lap tonight. Can he lead his first lap here on lap 59? Obviously 60 will be coming up here. Not so far. He's not got the push he needs. We'll see if he can get it at the line, as he's got the Brian Bennett and Sean Breitzman pushing him. Will he lead the lap? No, it's going to be Mark Walls at the line that leads 18th lap. And still, Mark Walls has the fastest lap of the race currently at the moment. So we have now 20 laps to go. When they get to the line, we will have 20 to go anyway, as we have 21 laps to go. Of course, they have to finish lap 80. They don't race to lap 80. They have to finish lap 80. So they have 21 laps to go, as David Applegate goes to the front after he got pushed by the 46 of Sean Breitzman, who wants to get to the front. And unfortunately, the only way he could get to the front was to push his own someone in front of his own teammates. As here they come to the line. Is it gonna be... No, and actually, I stand corrected. Brain lapse here. Sean Brightsman is actually a lap down. He was tricking me there a little bit because when he was actually in front of David Applegate, he was on the tail end of the lead lap, so I thought he was bidding for the lead, but he is actually a lap down. So he is not bidding for the lead. He is just trying to get back on the lead lap. And when he was in front of the 23, like he is now, he's actually being scored on the lead lap. So that was throwing me off. I apologize for that. But he is fighting there to get that lap back, as it is Mark Walls pushing David Applegate, as Applegate will lead his second lap this time by, as there it is now, 19 laps to go at the line. This race is winding down very quickly, so a big shout out to everyone that's staying here with us tonight, as this is probably one of the best races we've seen. We're going to pull those race stats up real fast where you're watching this group, and this is everybody pretty much that is on the track, if not everyone actually, and I believe it is everyone. There you go. 4 cautions were 12 laps. We're on lap 62 right now, so we have completed 61 laps. Only 12 of those under caution here for 10 laps. So, 12 laps. 10 lead changes here so far, and we've had 7 different leaders here in tonight's race. So, several different leaders this time by. It's going to be Applegate one more time. Obviously, Sean Brightsman in that 46 machine, he would love to get his lap back. As you see there, he is 1 lap down. Not sure why it's showing plus, but he is a lap down here at the moment. So he wants to get back there. Meanwhile, we'll go back up to Brian Bennett, who's pushing him. He wants to get the lead, and somebody's going 3 wide, and I believe it's going to be Mark Walls that takes him 3 wide coming out of the corner, and he's going to have his teammate pushing him. They're going to try to get by the 23 of David Applegate, kind of leaving him there to drive, and he does have help from the 25 as well. So this is where it's going to get tricky. They need to get down in front of him right about now if they want to secure that bottom lane. It's not going to happen, as Mark Walls will go down. Jeff Stabnow left to dry there a little bit. He does have help coming from the 8 of Gary Nichols, but Gary Nichols knows if those two get up there that he is on his own, stuck in the middle. But they are going to stay there and work with each other. 3 wide coming down the backstretch here on lap 64 of 80. Oh, yeah, I told you it would be an exciting race. It is becoming that as laps are winding down, and they are winding up here. They are now 3 wide, as it's right now Applegate, Walls, and Brightsman. Those are the 3 lead cars for the 3 different rows. The 23 of David Applegate on the inside, the 48 of Mark Walls on the middle row, and Sean Brightsman in the 46 on the far outside row. The inside row doesn't have very many cars, but what they do have is the side draft from the inside and the outside row. So they have a little bit. Josh Coley, not sure if he wants to go to the inside or an outside. And that third row really doesn't know if they even want to exist right now, as they funnel into 2 rows. And now you've got Sean Brightsman, the lap car here, all by himself. And he's going to have to tuck in behind the 71. I think he'll do it. He does indeed, as it is still, after all of that jockeying around for position, it is still David Applegate that is leading this race. And what a run he has had. Again, if you talk about David Applegate right there, just to mention him one more time, he has not been racing. He has been doing night school, so he has not been racing in probably at least 2 months that I can recall. So he just comes out of nowhere and could put this thing into victory lane after his first race back in quite some time here. As we'll go ahead and get rid of that, and let's pull up his driver stats here. This is his 2018 season 2 stats here for this season. 1 top 10, no wins, no poles, no top 5s. He's only had 2 starts out of the 12 races. So again, he's only had 2, and obviously we've raced 12 races, so he is definitely putting on a show here for only his third race of the season here tonight. So awesome run for him. But Mark Walls back out to the front, followed by his teammate Jeff Stabnow, but is going to fall back here to second place. So there you see, Brightsman goes for a wild ride. Caution is out. Let's go back and see what happened to Sean Brightsman as that truck is destroyed. Let's go back and take a look here, and we'll take two different views of this. What in the world happened to the 46 of Sean Brightsman as he took a vicious tumble here? We'll see, everybody was trying to get to the front. Obviously, they're still trying to get to the front, and let's see if it was a bumper hook. And right there, indeed, a bumper hook, and he hits that wall extremely hard. If you get motion sickness, you might want to turn away now, because we're about to do what we do here on VRN. Let's go on board here with the 46 of Sean Brightsman, as we are about to find out exactly what happened. From his point of view, I guess we know what happened, but we'll see coming in here in just a minute what it looked like from his point of view as they come out of the corner. How nobody else got involved, I don't know. Right there, just wicked spin and hard lick to the outside wall, and that will do it. That car, or truck in this case, is quite totaled. I'm not sure if he's going to make it back to pit road or not. He is sitting on pit road now, so we'll go back to live here and to our main camera. But heavy damage. I'm not sure if he's going to make it back out onto the track. He's been there for about 45 seconds or so. He probably had to tow after that. So we haven't talked to David Applegate here. Let's pull him to the booth and see what exactly is going on with David Applegate here tonight, and we'll go on board with him here to his roll bar camera just to see what his thoughts are after 17 laps on this run. David Applegate, you got a copy?
Sir, yes sir, I do.
Well, we got you here in the booth. You're sitting second place after only your third start of the season. We talked about how you were in school and didn't get to race, but coming back after being gone for so long, obviously you're not rusty at all, sitting in second place. So how is this truck handling, and what do you think your shots are of getting the win here tonight?
Wow. First off, as to being rusty a little bit, during the off season, I was able to practice a lot of road racing during the day, but wasn't able to make these night races. I got to thank Ryan Maines for putting together this setup, though. He's got a little bit of an unconventional setup, and I won't go into the details, but it's definitely a little bit less than normal. If I can stay on the inside line, I probably have a good shot at least a podium, but getting on the outside line on this restart is really going to be a challenge with about 10 to go.
Well, it definitely will be. I believe it'll be right at 10 to go when we go green. So before we get you back to your team channel there, anyone you want to give a shout out to, or any sponsors you want to thank?
Well, Intel's ridden on board this entire time, but for this time around, I want to thank Office Depot for their support, as well as Portland State University for making me smarter. I pay them for that, so I have to give them that kind of a shout out. Also, first time I've seen more than one of my teammates around in a while, so Ryan was here and Matt's just a couple spots behind me, so the teamwork's real, so shout out to them for sure.
All right, well, hopefully we'll be talking to you later on tonight, and good luck.
Thank you, Charles. I'll put on a show and see if we can bring this home.
All right, again, that was the 23 of David Applegate. As you're running on board with him, we're going to go ahead and go get out of there. We're going to get back to our main camera here as we are under caution. I believe, pull that up again, it is the 5th caution of the night for 14 laps. Going to be 15 when they get to the line. We should have a 10 lap shootout. Will we see another caution, or will we go the rest of this race to the end under green flag conditions? We'll know momentarily, but we're going to step away for a very short commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, we are back as they're on the backstretch right now. We're on lap 71. We have 10 laps, so we're going to have a 9-lap shootout. I was thinking it was going to be a 10-lap shootout. It is going to be a 9-lap shootout when we get the green flag, as it is going to be Mark Walls and David Applegate sitting on the front row here for the restart. Right behind them is going to be, if I can get it out, Jeff Stabnow and Brian Barnes. Again, chase drivers right behind them. You'll have another chase driver of the 71 of Brian Bennett. So a pace car will be diving off this time right about there, making its way off of the track. Again, once you see that pole, that's of course the Sunoco fuel pole, I believe is what it says anyway. We will be going racing one more time with 9 laps to go, and right there's the Sunoco fuel sign. Green flag is back in the air. Top 3 back on your top bar here as we are racing once again. And we'll see, was that the last caution of the night, or will we see another caution here? If we see it with less than 5 to go, that would end the race. It's right now Brian Barnes pushing David Applegate to try to get up to the 48 of Mark Walls and the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. They're side by side coming down the backstretch. You have teammates versus just some friends out there. 3 of those, of course, chase drivers. This is going to get very, very interesting to see how it all plays out in the end as they come to the line here momentarily. They're still side by side for the lead. Who is it going to be at the line? Right now, Mark Walls seems to have the advantage, but who's it going to be here coming to the line? Mark Walls barely gets it. He will now lead 27 laps. Mark Walls has tied Jeff Stabnow for the most laps led. Oh, again, those bonus points on the line here tonight. Jeff Stabnow needs to lead a handful of more laps if he wants to secure that spot. Right now, he is pushing his teammate, so obviously he's not going to push his teammate out of the way in order to get those laps led. And there goes David Applegate, cuts down. Jeff Stabnow gets through with a caution is out, and big pile up there as we have a huge wreck involved. Let's go back and take a look. I'm not sure, maybe David Applegate in that 23 wasn't quite clear. Alright, let's zoom in here and take a look. As you're watching the 23 of David Applegate here, he comes down in front of the 24. I'm not sure if he was maybe not 100% clear or thought he was, or his spotter told him it was or something as he comes down. And actually, no, David Applegate he is a victim of this as well, as a big pile up ensues. Let's go back and take another look at that. This involves the 25 of Brian Barnes. I think he was coming down as well, maybe trying to get a little side draft to stay ahead, and collects the 48 with him. As again, watch the blue, number 25, Trading Paints machine out here, and you'll see what we're talking about here as we're going to zoom in here. And you'll see the 21, or the 23 of David Applegate clears right here. He's clear. I'm not sure. Maybe the 48 went up a little bit too. Let's go back another 20 so seconds and take a look at that here. As we'll go to the 48 and see if we can get a look in there. As right here you'll see, possibly watch the tires of the 48. He very well could have gone up a little bit as well. I'm not sure. But definitely we'll take one more look at this and see if we can get it. Let's go to the chopper cam and see. You're watching that 48 leading this pack. He gets a little wiggle there. Look at Jeff Stabnow on the 24. Got him a little shot there. There it is. Again, so tough to call here. As we're going to take one more look at it here from the chopper cam. As we'll zoom in, watch the 48 and the 25, the blue truck and the brighter blue truck on the outside. They collect here as to who technically there. I think both of them just came up and collided in a racing deal there, is what brought it on. And then the 25 goes back up the track, and that is when chaos ensues. Here, so those guys coming down pit road, as this is going to give the lead back to Jeff Stabnow here with 6 laps to go, so we will go racing again. Let's go ahead and let's pull Jeff Stabnow up here and see how confident he is now after that little incident going on there involving a few chase drivers. So we'll pull him down very quick. Oop, Jeff Stabnow, you got a copy one more time.
I got you, Charles.
Well, we talked to you earlier about how confident you were. We're going to go back and revisit that now after this, after a collision between the 48 and the 25. A lot of your chase contenders and some of the fast drivers here in this race have now been pushed back, and they probably don't have enough time to get that damage repaired and get back to you. They could, but it's going to be hard. So has that, level there of confidence, maybe, percentage about 50, 60 gone up a little bit of getting the win here tonight?
Well, I think we're right where we want to be. I feel horrible for Mark. I couldn't believe that just happened there. I don't know how I missed it. But at the end of the day, we kept the truck clean. And I think we're in the best spot we can be in right now. I don't know. I think we're going to have, 2 laps or a 3-lap shootout here. So a lot can happen in those 2 or 3 laps. We'll just have to see how it goes. I like where I'm at.
Definitely in a good spot, and we went back and watched that many times there to figure out exactly what happened, and it honestly looks kind of like a racing deal from our view here anyway. It looks like Mark may have slid up a little bit, and 25 came down, and they just decided to have a little meeting in the middle of the track. And again, how you managed to get through that is beyond me as well. You did some great driving there to avoid it, but you're set in a good spot here. We have still at least 2 laps to go here before we go with 5 to go. So you're right. I think it's going to be about a 2-lap shootout. So it looks good for you. Hopefully we'll be talking to you a little bit later.
Yeah, we just got the 2 to go, so I think we're going to have a 3-lapper.
Well, there you go. We'll get the green, the white, and then the checkered here tonight. So this is the point, as a lot of people like to refer to. It's either checkers or wreckers here with a 3-lap shootout.
Absolutely, man. Well, it'd be nice to get that advanced to the round, but more than anything, we got to keep her in one piece here.
Well, hopefully you can keep it in one piece. We'll let you go, and hopefully with any luck, we'll be talking to you later tonight.
All right, 10-4, buddy.
All right, there you have it. That was the 24 of Jeff Stabnow that we had on the radio. You see it right there. It is 5 to go. Going to be a 3-lap shootout. So we'll go ahead and we're going to get rid of that very quickly here, as we don't need it here at the moment, as it is going to be a awesome finish here. This is wrapping up to be as good a finish as Monday night, where we had them beating and banging all the way to the line. So we'll see if we see that again here tonight. Definitely a contact between the 48 and the 25, and it's going to cost them both pretty big here, as the 25 of Brian Barnes still on the lead lap, back in 12th place. Mark Walls got to the better end. He is back in 6th place, so he still, both of them technically have a shot, just depending on how fast they can get back through this field. But the one who's sitting in a really good spot tonight, that, of course, is Jeff Stabnow, is right coming up to the line. You will see the lights go off. They will get double file, and we will have a 3-lap shootout to the end of this race. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the race. Hopefully nobody's sitting in their seat right now. Obviously, I have to kind of be, but if I didn't have to be in my seat right now, I would be standing up as well. As there it is, 4 to go, lights are off, 3 to go next time by. And we are going to, again, have a green, white, checkered. This is checkers or wreckers here at the end. You're either going to finish this race in one piece, or it's going to be a piece of scrap metal at the end of the night. One of the two will happen. Will we see the caution that ends this race, or will we race it out to the end? Again, once that white flag waves, that is it. We will not see a caution. If we get a caution, it is going to have to come out from the start of lap 3 to before the leader takes the white flag on lap 3. So if Jeff Stabnow takes the white flag at the line on 3 to go, and we do not make it to 2 to go, then we will not see that caution. So we do not want to see the caution again. If the caution is going to come out, it'll have to be at the start of lap 3 and before they get to 2 to go. So Again, going to be very interesting here to see how this one does play out. Yeah, this is going to get interesting to see who does take it and who needs to take it. Obviously, Jeff Stabnow is in the chase. He needs to get the win if he wants to secure himself into the next round. John Ottenbacher is not in the chase. He's here just for the win. So, as a teammate, do you push the 24 to the win to secure his spot, or do you go all out for the win? That is the question on the line right now. Is will the 89 of John Ottenbacher be a teammate, or will he be a competitor here with these last 3 laps to go as they are winding him up, getting him ready to go racing here one more time? As we are going to get the top bar back up for you as soon as that green flag comes out. And that will be happening right now. Green flag back in the air. Top 3 back up on your overlays. Jeff Stabnow gets a huge jump. And that's going to be timed very perfectly, as that was not by accident. He knows as well as anybody here a big jump like that is a bad idea. But he did it to allow his teammate to get behind him. So that was a very good move this time around, as he was able to let the 89 of John Ottenbacher get behind him and push him here for the race. This could be a race-winning move if the 89 of John Ottenbacher can push his teammate to the win, as caution is out, and that is going to do it. Where did the caution come from? As we'll see here, but regardless, it is out, and I don't see anybody off pace. But it is indeed out, so that will do it here for tonight's race. Again, I don't see anybody off pace as we go through this field. Nobody off. Let's check David Applegate, see if something might have happened with him. We're back here at the back of the field. Something clearly brought out the caution. The question is, what is it? As we're taking a look, there it is right there. David Applegate in the 45 of Steve Silstad, one of our chase drivers, getting together, and just like that, they sort it out. But too late, as it doesn't matter. The caution comes out, as it's going to be Jeff Stabnow putting it in victory lane. Our next chase driver here is going to be Chris White, back in 7th place. Then you have Josh Coley, Mark Walls, Brian Barnes right there in a row. Steve Silstad 12th, Brian Bennett 13th is where our chase drivers are going to finish. Jeff Stabnow gets the win. Obviously not the way he wants to get it, under caution, but nevertheless he does indeed get the win. As when they come to the line, it will be officially 1 lap to go. And, of course, your 1 lap to go here tonight is presented by Northwest Racing Series. They are the official 1 to go sponsor here for tonight's race. As they are coming to the line, I'm sure he's already doing a little bit of celebrating here tonight, as he has advanced to round 2 here in the playoffs, just like that. And he has a really good shot at the championship, as he already knew he did, and this just solidifies that he will be in round 2. As there it is, white flag is in the air. Final lap is out, so we're going to go ahead and get things ready, as we'll be going through your official unofficial race results coming up here in just a minute. But we want to thank everyone that tuned in tonight and early this morning, as it is just about 1 a.m. here for us. Definitely don't go anywhere yet. We're not done just yet. Of course, we still have the unofficial results coming up and your post-race show. We're going to talk to our top 3 drivers here tonight, as it has been a outstanding race. Not quite the finish we wanted, under caution, but still a great race nevertheless. So we are going to go radio silent here for just a minute, and we'll be back here with your unofficial results coming up in just a few moments. All right, we are back, and there you go. They are crossing the line. We'll go through your unofficial race results. Getting the win here tonight is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Finishing in second place is going to be the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Third place is going to be the 19 of Matt Henry. Fourth place is going to be the 8 of Gary Nichols. And rounding out your top 5 here tonight is going to be the 27 of A.J. Williamson. Sixth place is going to go to Donovan Stevens. Seventh place, Chris White. Eighth place, Josh Coley. Ninth place, Mark Walls. And 10th place, Brian Barnes. 11th place is going to go to David Applegate. 12th place, Steve Silstad. 13th, Brian Bennett. 14th, Gerald Heffley. 15th, Dana Rogers. 16th will go to Sean Brightsman. 17th, Ryan Maines. 18th, Tom Green. 19th, Daniel Masters. And 20th will go to Ray Fournier. 21st will go to Josh Coley. 22nd, Mona Lehman. 23rd, Jason Berg. And rounding out the field here in 24th tonight will go to Dell Winterberg. That will do it here for your unofficial race results. We'll go ahead and put the results ticker up on the top, and we will be right back with your top 3 drivers here in the post-race show coming up in just a few moments. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with your top 3 drivers, as we have Matt Henry, John Ottenbacher, and Jeff Stabnow locking himself into the next round, as he's taking a page out of Mikey Neal's book, although he needs to be going backwards the right way around the track if you want to take that page out. But regardless, we will get to talking to him here in a minute. First things first, we do have our 3rd place driver here tonight, and that is the 19, Matt Henry. So, again, what a run, Matt. You started 13th, and that was the lowest you ever got. You got as high as 3rd, and that is where you finished. So we started out with a few cautions. Unfortunately, ended under caution. But again, from 13th to 3rd, you gained 10 spots here tonight. So what was this race like? And just congrats on the 3rd place finish. What a run.
Hey, thank you. And it's like any other plate race. It just takes a lot of patience and knowing how to lift and just not run into the back of the person in front of you.
Oh, we talked about it throughout the night. Is a lot of people get mixed up with this plate track racing. They think it is flat out, but we're going to talk to each driver here as compared to back in 13th and then being up in third. How much, when you were back in 13th compared to that third, were you on the gas, and how much of that time did you have to let off the gas or ride that brake a little bit going around this track compared to the front and the back of the field?
Oh, definitely. Anything beyond, third or fourth in line, and you're basically at the end of the accordion. So it's real hard. You got to basically be off the gas before you're even getting into the corner and anticipate what they're doing up front, and just kind of be real aware of everything around you, and just really patience. I think patience is the key here.
Well, obviously, you have a lot of it then because you end up going again from 13th to 3rd. I'm not sure if that's the most spots gained here tonight, but it is a lot. And it's a product of plate track racing. You can start in the back and work your way up as long as you have that patience to work your way up and not trash your car on the way up there and get a little luck not to get involved. But an outstanding run here for you to finish in 3rd. So do you have any sponsors on that car you need to thank, or anyone you just want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Just Abno for hitting me up out of the blue and asking me to come back and race, and so I decided to come back tonight, and definitely TRGA for having me back with them as well, and yeah, that's it.
Definitely glad having you back. And speaking of not being back, he's just here all the time anyway. I don't know why you think it back, but regardless, I digress on that one. That is our second place driver. I guess you could say he's back in second. He's been there quite a bit. That is the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Started 4th, went as low as 22nd place. And here you are as high as 1st, but in the end, you take 2nd. So first off, talk to you a little bit before we talk to Jeff. How planned out was that last restart? So we saw Jeff get a huge jump, which we know is not always a good thing here. So how choreographed and planned was that restart for Wicked Chassis Racing?
Well, we talked about it a little bit before we started there, and we thought we'd try and get started a little early and see if we could break off from those guys, and we didn't think we were going to be able to. They've been pretty much on tail to tail all through the race, and somehow we were able to build a big gap and able to get down there and push Jeff to the win. Wish we could have finished it without that caution, but we'll take it.
Well, definitely, would have loved to finish it under green flag conditions, but it's good for him. He gets to move on. So we want to talk to you since obviously Jeff got the win. We know team spirit is big with Wicked Chassis Racing, but when it came down to a percentage, we had to give a percentage here. How much of you wanted to push him to the win as a teammate, knowing you advanced him, and how much of that did you want to put it in victory lane to get that win as well?
Oh, I'd say about 75%. If we had some room there at the end, I would have tried and slung it out around him on that last lap. But it for sure had to be a Wicked Chassis guy winning, so I'd be pushing somebody to the win.
Well, indeed, we might have seen that had we. Of course, I had the green flag finish, but unfortunately ended under caution here tonight. But still some great racing. So we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs. So who would those be for that second place finish?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Walls Beard Co. for sponsoring the race and the series and all that kind of stuff. Great company and just some great products there for those people that do have beards. And got to thank VRN for putting on a great show, and thank you, Charles. And got to really thank my teammates and Wicked Chassis Racing, putting together great sets, and was awesome to be able to run up through the field, and it's just a fun race.
It definitely was a fun race. It definitely was fun here in the booth. And congrats on second place. And moving to our race winner here tonight, as I believe he's still sitting on the track, that is the number 24 of Jeff Stabnow, our highest placing chase driver here, of course, getting the win. Started first. You only fell as low as 5th place here tonight. Ended up obviously getting back to the lead, and you also led 35 laps here. You led the most laps tonight. So first off, let's just hear it. How much relief is off of your chest now and off your back, knowing that you are done here basically for the first round? You don't have to win or point in.
Well, obviously there's a ton of pressure off. I mean, last year in the Truck Series, I got wrecked out of Talladega and, put myself in a position where I dang near had to win one of those last 2 races or have really good finishes. And there's just no room for things to happen. And, of course, they happened. And, I didn't advance to the second round after I had a great regular season. So, this season, getting the pass here in this first round, a huge amount of pressure. Unfortunately, though, we had 2 teammates that just got caught up in some bad luck. So, not like we can go focus on the next round here. We're going to have to focus on getting some darn good sets under us and getting those other 2 teammates advanced, because Sean with the DNF there and Mark getting tore up there at the end, they're going to have some hard work ahead of them. So we're going to have to, as a team, they're getting to work and get them advanced too now.
Yeah, so same question, we kind of reversed role here. Now that you have your win, we've talked about it several times tonight, and we've talked about it in the preview show. You have your win, so obviously you would love to get a second win. But if it comes down to, say, you and Mark or you and Sean battling for the lead, you're going to race them as hard as you can. But you think you'll take it a little easy on him there, and maybe give him an extra inch on the track just to let him earn it. If he can get by you, he can.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely give the teammates some room on the track. I mean, I'm going to go out there and try to win the race. There's just no doubt about that. It's just kind of the way we've always done it here on this team. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll go out of my way. I mean, their backs are against the wall here a little bit, but they're 2 fantastic drivers, both of them capable, more than capable, probable to get a win here in the next 2 races. So, yeah, I'll definitely just have to make sure, that I don't take one of them out or something be the reason they don't win it.
Well, definitely that would be bad. I don't think it'll happen, though. Of course, we know you got some celebrating and some work to do after the race. So we don't want to keep you too long so you can get that done. But we know you have some shout-outs, and we know you got some sponsors. So give us just a minute while we go find our Grammy music. We don't know where we put it. And then we should be good, so we'll hand it over to you.
Not going to need it. I'll fill the silence for you, Charles. I think we got to start off with the teammates. Was up front with Mark and Sean for the whole first half of that race, and Mark got caught up in some incidents and had to go to the back, and then I was up there with Sean and for a while. So we worked. He helped me stay up there. We worked together up there, and then Sean ran back, but John and Mark made their way back up. So I always had a teammate up there the whole race. I was never up there by myself for very long. So always had teammates to work with. Mark and I had a plan, and we were going to try to, work that plan there to the end of this race. I'm not sure what happened up there, but, it didn't work for Mark. I got lucky. So John and I decided that we were going to, we had a long discussion, and just for the record, there's no team orders there. I told John if he wanted to go for the win, no hard feelings. And that's just kind of the teammate John is. We decided that we were going to take an early start there and try to break up that outside line a little bit, and he'd jump in behind me, and then we'd see what happened on the last lap. And, So hats off to John. We didn't get to the last lap, unfortunately. Caution came out, but we knew that was a risk, and John went along with the plan anyway. So John's just a fantastic teammate. Just huge shout out to the teammates tonight. And we're going to get back to work and get these guys advanced. Other than that, VRN, Charles, I can't say enough about you. We say it every week, and I know it sounds like we're just repeating ourselves, but it's incredible the amount of work that you do to make this thing happen and to do it at the level that you do it at. And I talk to you just about every day. You're in every practice, every session that we've got open, watching what's going on, doing your homework, talking to the team, testing your streams. So nobody works at their craft harder than you do. And then, of course, Walls Beard Co. They're the reason we're here, guys. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Walls Beard Co. So if you got a shot here this Christmas season and need that inexpensive gift for the bearded guy in your life, or a bearded buddy, or just want to give somebody with peach fuzz a hard time, it's a great product and a pretty inexpensive gift. So, I think that's all we got tonight, Charles. But if you give me a minute, I'm sure I could think of more.
Well, we'll add it here to you for you. He forgot to mention it also works on fluffy eyebrows too. So he forgot to mention that. But
the truck was on rails tonight.
Yes, that truck was on rails indeed. And that is just about going to do it here for tonight's race. As we will go through the sponsors, of course, here for the race and this season. That, of course, ourselves here at VRN. And playing double duty is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. And the other great sponsors on board here for the broadcast do include Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, SimSpeedShop.com, and iBog. Make sure you check out all of these great partners on their social media websites or platforms, and definitely give them a shout out. Thank them for all they do to help us here on the broadcast and help this racing series do what they do. As always, on behalf of the Northwest Truck Series and VRN, we will see you next Wednesday night with some more great racing action, as I believe we head to, let me check it out real fast, we are headed to Dover for some short track racing, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you there.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.